MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com, RockAuto.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
If there's one thing that we cannot get enough of, it is protection for our cars. Today we're in Forrest Hill, Maryland at A+ Auto Styling. We're going to figure out how we can get a protective barrier for our paint. A+ is a firm that specializes in preservation of your ride. From window tint to full-color vinyl wraps and the ever so popular paint protection film, also known as PPF. This is a thermoplastic urethane film which is applied over paint. PPF protects against rock chips and scratches. Now, if you want to cover the entire car, it's about $6,000. To do the front impact zone, it's about $2,000. And Expel guarantees this for 10 years.
We had a customer with an F-Type have a driver scuff the bumper of his car leaving a parking lot one day. And when he pulled the wrap off, there really was no damage to the paint itself. It looked like there was. It was pretty bad once the film was still on there, but we pulled it off, and to both our surprises, all we had to do was essentially replace the film.
This blotter machine can precisely cut the PPF for many cars, so it's not usually hand cut.
These pre-cut kits, there's two different mirror designs, and I cut the one with the smaller mirror hole out, knowing that I'm gonna tuck it as close to the mirror stalk as possible and not have any gap there. So what I'm doing now is just trying to position it exactly where I want it.
While color vinyl is installed completely dry, PPF is a polar opposite.
The idea is to not have any dry spots. Any dry spots can create silvering or some defects in the actual glue. So gotta make sure everything's nice and wet. The guys are making sure there's no bubbles and no contaminant, as this is like holding a giant piece of fly paper. Then the water is squeegeed out and the edges sit to dry.
It's not the thickest thing. If it were to be too thick, you would lose the ability to keep it from being visible. So I think they found a perfect niche with it about its effectiveness and its aesthetic qualities.
One of our favorite properties of the paint protection film is its self-healing top coat that helps with light scratches and any swirls that you may get, maybe with a dirty microfiber.
The sun's heat alone will pull these scratches out, but you can use a heat gun to expedite that process.
Well, we're not going to go too heavy with it, but we're going to basically make an area that's got some scratches on it.
Voila! Magic. That's how this Audi R8 owner feels, saying you can't even see the edges of the film, which has kept his paint spick and span.
People compliment me all the time about how new the car looks, even though the car is a couple of model years old. So aside from that, the car is also easy to take care of and maintain.
After you get the car PPF, there really isn't a whole lot you need to worry about maintenance-wise. You can pretty much treat it as though you would have treated the car originally before you had the film installed. You can wax the car, you can get the car ceramic coated. Those two things, not in combination, but either or really will help just prolong the quality of the film itself.
Don't directly spray edges with a pressure washer. And while you can take it through the car wash, touchless is preferred. Now, it takes about 40 hours to properly install PPF over an entire car, so it's not a one-day thing. And ask around to make sure the shop that you choose has a good reputation. But for anyone who really wants to keep their car looking like new, PPF is a worthy investment.